Good evening, mortals. It is me, Noah 1196. I apologize for my sudden hiatus. I've returned to discuss another theory with you. This time it's one of my own. For today's video, I decided to have my good friend join us so that he can help me discuss the theory as well. Hey. Hello, all you horror fans out there. It is I, the notorious horror plagiarizer, Stephen King. Pretty much the black equivalent to Stephen King, I might add. For today's theory, we'll be discussing the spin-off show of Jimmy Neutron, Planet Sheen. Now, pretty much almost every Jimmy Neutron fan out there can agree that this show is terrible. Indeed, Noah. Now, a lot of Jimmy Neutron fans remember this series as a redundant cash grab, and also as one of the worst spin-offs of all time, as no one just stated. I mean, it's so bad, it makes the Ben 10 reboot look good. I'm glad to know that for this fan theory, Sheen's actually in a coma. However, for anyone out there who still wants to try to save their childhood, beware. Your childhood is at stake here. That very fateful day, Sheen was going over to Jimmy's house to ask him about something. Yet Sheen failed to see the signs in front of him, telling him that Jimmy wasn't home and not to touch anything in the lab. Yet Sheen decided just to ignore this warning and went inside anyway. That's when he noticed something interesting. All the way in the back of the lab, Sheen noticed Jimmy was working on another rocket. And of course, Sheen, with his curious mind, goes over to inspect it. He didn't realize the rocket was only a prototype and ignored the warnings telling him to stay away from the rocket and not to turn it on. But he ignored it, pressing the button, launching the rocket. However, this is where the show and the fan theory begin to differ. What I'm trying to say is, the rocket never took off. You see, when the rocket first launched, it actually took off at a curve, like if it were about to crash. What if that was the case? What if the rocket actually crashed? But this time, Sheen doesn't get out so lucky. You see, the rocket actually detonates the moment it makes contact with the ground. When the debris cleared, there were little to no traces of the rocket left, though there lay Sheen, unresponsive. A few kids living in the neighborhood saw him laying in the street, unresponsive, and tried to rush over to help him. But it only seemed like Sheen wasn't going to make it this time. Now, I can already tell a lot of people are actually going to be debating on how this fan theory actually works. A few of you might say it takes place in a purgatory, while others may say it's just Sheen dreaming. And if he woke up, he'd be in critical conditions, which could be permanent. So I decided to detail what happened if Sheen actually did die and go into a purgatory. Well, my good friend Stephen King tells you what would happen if he was dreaming. For this to work, I might as well describe the scene for you, like they do in creepypastas. For this fan theory to work, I decided to discuss what really happened the day Sheen took off into space. The kids huddled together around Sheen's lifeless body as he got picked up by paramedics. They tried their best to resurrect him, but it was too late. Sheen was killed almost immediately following the explosion. Though in his mind, it made him seem like he actually took off into space. Now there are a lot of hints in the series that point out this could be the case, as Dorcas could just represent death, trying to claim Sheen's soul and bring him to the afterlife. Yet he chooses to remain there. And since no one already did the purgatory version of the fan theory, I thought I might as well give my own glimpse of what it would be like if you were trapped in a dream. Well, coma. Just like what no one did, I'll have to give my theory out in a creepypasta-ish format. Seeing all the stuff in the show kinda makes you think, like, none of this can be real. There's no way he could have actually traveled to a planet that's like this. And this is where the theory comes in. As No One 1196 previously stated, the kids gathered around Sheen's seemingly lifeless body, trying their best to resurrect him. Eventually, Jimmy Neutron himself catches a glimpse at this, and after realizing that Sheen ignored the warnings and still took his rocket for a joyride, he grew depressed off of learning this, knowing that this could have easily been prevented if hidden more properly than just having signs laid out for him to read, knowing that he would just ignore them anyway. What I believe happens next is that Jimmy places him in his lab and hooks him up to these machines that work almost like a life support to try and keep Sheen alive and well. Yet I bet a lot of you fans out there are wondering, yo, when you gonna get to the fan theory? Hey, hold on, man. I'm getting there. Okay. Now, despite the fact that the rocket crashed, Sheen still thought he was launched into outer space and dreamt that he was in a world where he could pretty much do whatever he wanted and not have to worry about his parents or school or any of that. It would make sense because that was the running theme of the entire show, basically. Or at least the first episode, where he openly states where he won't have to deal with school or parents. I'd say this would make a lot more sense because during the show's run, he does befriend an alien named Doppy, which is obviously a parallel to Carl, and a talking monkey with super intelligence, which would obviously be a monkey version of Jimmy. Yeah, I'm gonna just say that's his way of, not being alone and having to worry about his friends and whatnot, because they're already there, pretty much. Except for Ultralord, which he got over. Yeah, it's no secret that Planet Sheen does contain some weird and wacky adventures. And it's obvious that all this stuff could be happening for a reason, so really, this theory actually goes well with the show, since Sheen's always going on these weird adventures, like hunting down cheese that spits out fire, to helping out a dragon, Godzilla-like monster, find love. Let's see, would not be hearing this. But if this was the case, just think of how much better the show would have been. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And I'd also like to give a big thanks to my good friend Stephen King for helping me out with this theory. Yeah, thanks for having me, Nolan1196, and hopefully I do get to see you guys in future videos. And you might just see me and Nolan1196 reenacting The Raven at some point. Just to put that out there. Give it about a week or two, because we gotta wait until summertime to do it. Anyway, I must bid you farewell, mortals. Hopefully I do see you sooner than last time. Farewell. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you